In September 1937, the war drove Liang and Lin Huiyin from Beiping into what would be a long period of exile.
Auntie Wilma, are you doing well? My mom, dad, and I are all well. I miss you so. We're now getting ready to go to Changsha. Tsinghua University is moving there, so we are going too. What do you think? Is Uncle John well too? See you later.
Lin had hastily scribbled a few words on the edges of the letter.
So much has happened. We don't know how to begin telling. Anyway, we're safe. Came to Tianjin a week ago and are leaving by boat to Qingdao, Waijinan, to wherever we can reach.
Only 2 months earlier, a wooden building from the Tang Dynasty had appeared. Yet this seemingly miraculous event turned out to coincide with a national nightmare. For 7 years, these ambitious scholars traveled across China pursuing new heights in the study of architectural history. However, just as they were achieving these accomplishments, war descended upon the country. The institute was forced to leave. They carefully entrusted the materials of field research, including structural sketches, film negatives from architectural photos, to the underground vault of a foreign bank in the British concession of Tianjin. There they deposited their life and their future. In August 1937, Beiping fell to Japan's troops. Before leaving Beiping, Lin Huiyin, with lung disease, was given a physical exam. The doctor sternly warned her against any tiring travel. She wrote to the author Shen Zhongwen, "The warning is in vain. My life is up to the will of heaven now." The year she left Beiping, Lin Huiyin was only 33 years old. Yet the best chapter of her life was silently coming to a close.
故树在冷风里摇，野火在暮色。
The country is disintegrating, and a great exile has begun. Our once peaceful and affluent life has been instantly transformed into a few pieces of luggage bumping along behind us. Amid the roar of artillery, universities are either moving to the west or to the south, away from the front lines of the war. Professors, students, children, elders, boxes of books and instruments, and even precious breeds of cattle and sheep that agronomists can't bear to abandon, have all converged into a river of misery, slowly swamping the lands of China.
Since the Marco Polo Bridge incident, we have traveled all the railways of China. With our luggage, our children, my old mother, boarding boats or trains a total of 16 times, and checking into a total of 12 different hotels.
In October 1937, after a circuitous journey, the Liangs reached Changsha.
Our archaeological tasks during time of peace could be hardly maintained under the new circumstances. We kept as much work as possible with stringent economic means, and only wait to revive it after the war. Our personal life is reduced to struggle with hardships, which are still bearable. As a woman, I was immediately turned into a pure housewife to work in the 2 rented rooms. Every day is hectic. With a few more air raid alarms, my life can't be fuller.
过去在这个抗战以前呢，我妈家里有厨师，有保姆，照顾我们的生活什么。现在她就全部要承担这些工作。但对他们生活的变化，我觉得他们好像一点都没有这种抱怨的情绪，而是好像觉得这是他们应该学的。
Before long, 1,600 teachers and students from Beiping and Tianjin arrived here. the Republican government decided to establish a temporary university in Changsha. The Liang's old friends now gathered in the city, crowded thanks to the war. They frequented the Liang's house in the evening to discuss the war situation.
我记得每天晚上他们来讨论了以后，最后走的时候，大家就高唱这个抗日歌、救亡歌曲，父亲的乐队指挥。
But before long, an air raid siren pierced the sky over Changsha.
The bomb dropped 15 yards away from the door of our house. No one knows how we managed not being blown to bits. Our house was in pieces just as we hurried downstairs after hearing some hellish crash and boom, for the 2 bombs first dropped further away from us. It was by sheer instinctive action. Each of us picked up one child and rushed for the stairs. You must be worried by now, but you must not. If things were to come to the worst for us, we're only in a way being released from the present, rather terrible, strenuous, dark, and unhappy existence. God, what a life.
Blood was spilt for guarding each inch of land. During the battles of Songhu, Taiyuan, and Nanjing, the Chinese army put up heroic and tragic resistance, which nonetheless failed to prevent the advance of the Japanese. Shanghai fell, followed by Nanjing, Hangzhou, and Jinan, while Wuhan, Changsha, and other cities were bombed again and again.
At present, we're packing again. Maybe we'll leave for the difficult 10-day trip by bus to Yunnan on the 2nd of December.
Masses of refugees continued onward, moving toward China's southwest region.
Today, we arrived at Liang and Lin. The scenery has become increasingly impressive, and I have started to believe that a woman like Cui Cui could exist here.
Traveling through western Hunan, Lin Huiyin thought of the heroine Cui Cui from Shen Chongwen's novel Border City.
The weather couldn't be better. If this journey were not taking place in the middle of a war, if it did not constantly fill our hearts with sorrow and worry, it would be the trip of a lifetime. Don't be pessimistic about the war. We will surely continue to suffer, but we must keep fighting for liberation. People like us are not of much use. Maybe we will perish, but there must be another way. Our country has made progress. With any luck, one day we will break through to a whole new situation in which we will no longer hang our heads in oppression.
The aesthetic pleasure that Lin felt soon died out entirely.
We started at 1 a.m. to get onto the bus, and by 3 a.m. we packed in all our belongings, few enough, and ourselves into the car. And by 10 in the morning, the car finally started moving. Windowless and starterless and everythingless, has every difficulty in climbing even a flat stretch of road, let alone real high dangerous mountain.
Winding through the wet and gloomy mountain roads of the southwest, Lin Huiyin's pneumonia took a turn for the worse. Her high fever prevented them from moving on.
那天的事我还记得很清楚，我们就把这个铺盖卷放在地上，放到大街上。我跟我弟弟、我外婆啊都坐在铺盖卷上。我父亲母亲就去找旅馆。我父亲说呢，他去找旅馆，结果旅馆全住满了，一间空的也没有。而我母亲已经在开始发烧了，怎么办呢？就在这时候，他忽然听见这个旅馆上有一个非常优美的这个小提琴的声音，就是他觉得很奇怪，怎么这个地方有这个西方音乐？他说这个地方怎么还有人拉小提琴拉得这么好？
In a little hotel in Huang County, there were some young trainees on their way to the Kunming Aviation School. Some of them happened to come from Guangdong, Liang's home province. That night, they made room for the beleaguered Liangs in their limited space. The encounter in Huang County brought the trainee pilots close to the Liangs, who were treated as family in later days. In January 1938, after 39 days of arduous journey, the Liangs arrived in Kunming from Changsha.
Need I tell you that the sunshines here are always extra, specially brilliant? The sky is blue here even at night. Well, white sailing clouds sail always to my satisfaction.
The temporary university